What's up guys, K Wills here. Today I'm going to do my review of Eureka 7 AO Episode 1, or better known as Astral Ocean. And pretty much Eureka 7 AO is the sequel to the Eureka 7 series, which you guys have not watched already. I highly recommend it. It's a really good anime. It's mecha and romance, but it's very well done. You know, it's 50 episodes. You should check it out. It also has a movie to it, but the movie is like alternate universe, so you could really watch the movie and then you could watch the Record 7 series. It doesn't really matter how you do it. That's how I see it. But anyways, I was really waiting for the sequel of all the spring anime. I've been waiting for this, because I really didn't think they were going to make a sequel to the Record 7 series, but, I'm pretty sure it's because of the fans. Because the fans, they demanded after, like, for years now, I think at, like, '07 or '08, when, yeah, '07, really in the year 2007, where people making online petitions, they were on forums, they wanted more Record 7, even after the movie, and now we have the sequel, so props to the fans, the diehard fans. I mean, I really didn't think they was going to make a sequel to this. But basically, in this episode, we have, in the beginning, these two old guys, one of them is Blank, one name is Ivica, I believe, and pretty much they're in this city that's in ruins, and they're part of a private company, like organization in a way. And pretty much the city is in ruins. A lot of people died basically. And this is not the first time. There are many different sites where this has happened all around, the area. And pretty much, one of the guys, Ivica, he's waiting for the turquoise hair girl to return, aka Eureka, and pretty much he believes that she can bring some type of hope to stop all this madness. And then we're introduced to Owl, who is around 13, 14 years old, and we all see him, with the eyes and just how he looks, that he is the son of Renton and Eureka. And we're introduced to Naru, who's like one of his only friends, actually, because we learn later on in the episode that he's known as the foreign boy. He doesn't really have that many friends, and his family, his only family that he really has is his like grandfather, but it's not his biological grandfather, but adopted grandfather. But still, they have a somewhat of a strong relationship. It doesn't matter. And pretty much with Nauru, we see. I'm gonna say this now that she is the daughter of Howlin and Tahoe, because he really looks like Tahoe. Like I can see the similarities, and it would make sense if she would be the daughter, but who knows what happened to them. So basically with Nauru, she's more of a fragile girl because we see that her body's kind of weak because she kind of has like asthma problems, or that she faints easily, that she has like some internal problems basically. And Ao, when we're introduced to him, he's kind of his character is pretty interesting. That he knows that he's known as the foreign boy, and he doesn't have many friends and family, and he just hides it all in. He doesn't need help from anybody. That he could just go along with life by himself, basically. He doesn't need to, um, worry about this stuff that would make him feel depressed or anything like that. For what we've seen so far. And then pretty much what happens is that Ao and Naru are looking for like the sloth that Naru wants to look for. And then after they look for it, they go their separate ways, and he's on the beach. Which, by the way, the main setting so far seems to be like the island. And I have to say, the island, I think this is the same island where Renton and Eureka and the kids were when in Eureka 7, the series where um, they went to that island after they entered the zone. It looks very similar to that island. Maybe it is, maybe something different. I don't know, but that's the first thing I thought of when I saw the island. And pretty much what happens is we later meet with another character, Gazzo, who is almost like a smuggler, pirate thing. Yeah, more of a smuggler actually. He works, for the military and pretty much carrying cargo. And there's something goes wrong with his FPS, yeah, FPS, FP, yeah, but that's like the new thing now. They're actually like hover cars, flying cars now. And pretty much what happens is he crashes and he almost hits Ao, and that's how the two characters meet. And he refers to Ao as the foreign boy, and then out of nowhere, this Scub Burst comes out of nowhere. And the Scub Burst, when I first saw it, it reminded me so much of the Seventh Swell. with this pure purple light and the rainbow surrounding it, the rainbow rings and all that. And this, the military and everybody knows about it. That scub burst happened, and that the scub coral could make a return. And we actually see a part of the scub coral, that huge rock structure. And then we see like this mechanical entity, like this machine in a way. Yeah, this purple and blackish machine. And it enters as soon as after the scub coral lands. And pretty much Owl, finds his bracelet on the ground. And he actually keeps it. And then they go their separate ways, and then Owl has to get ready for school, and his grandfather's actually a doctor that he has to help the people out because, just to make sure everything's okay after the scub burst. And afterwards, the next day, Naru also had some problems with her lungs too, like she almost passed out as well, she was kind of sick. And pretty much what happens is Owl's getting ready for school, and what happens is that the scub burst keeps reappearing. And then out of nowhere, when the scub burst, multiple times actually, and then afterwards the G monster, that's how the locals call it, appeared, and it actually was the same mechanical entity, the being, flying structure, I'm gonna call it, the G monster basically, yeah. So the G monster appears and pretty much it wrecks everything, like it's attacking the island, it's shooting the island, it's killing people, and Owl doesn't know what to do, he's confused. And pretty much the private company, guys, they've learned about the scub burst, and then they're trying to figure out what to do. Um, they're kind of almost like a organization, General Blue or Generation Blue, something like that. And pretty much when Owl is in all this despair, he doesn't know what to do. He looks at the bracelet and it glows, and pretty much it says Eureka on it, and then it says his name, and then his eyes start to glow, and you see a flashback of his mom, Eureka, of course, and Owl when he was a kid. And then pretty much, he realizes this is his mother's bracelet. He's gonna he's gonna keep this with him. And then here's the weird thing, a funny thing that happened. After all this is going on with the G monster attacking and everything, Gazzo comes back because he realized that he was missing the piece to the whole part of the cargo, and that basically he just goes, he lands, and he pretty much walks. He's like, "Oh, foreign boy, you had it." And with all this destruction, he's just walking casually. He's like, "Oh, I need to take that back," and he just walks in. He tries to take the bracelet, but I was like, "Hell no, you're not taking this. I made a promise. Nobody's taking it." That's pretty much how the episode ends. Um, Really good episode of the sequel so far. I'm liking it, and the next episode looks like it's gonna be action packed. Which is another thing. I liked how there wasn't really too much action within the first episode that we got into the introduction to, the main characters, or the first main characters with Owl and Naru and Gazzo. Which, by the way, when I first saw Gazzo, I immediately got that Holland feeling, that he was almost like a new generation of, like, like a newer generation of Holland. Like, I don't know, like he kind of looked like him a little bit, but just how he acts and stuff, and his personality was how Holland kind of acted towards Renton actually near the beginning of the series, but then later on, he got, he thought of Renton as like a good friend, close friend. So this first episode of Record 7 AO, it's pretty good. Hope later on in the series we get to know what happened to the other members of Gecko State and Renton, and the other characters, because there were a lot of characters in the Record 7 series. So a lot of good characters too, and also like Eminem and Dominic. This is wanted to see what they did, and I think I have a feeling, a prediction that later on that Maurice, Mater, and Link are one of the three. The kids from the Reckless kids. They're gonna play a part in this. I have a feeling that those three kids are gonna return, and something's gonna happen. I don't know. I have a good feeling about that. But anyways, the first episode was really good. The sequel looks like it looks promising. Like it's not gonna make the Record 7 series look bad or anything. But we'll see to the next episode next week. I believe next Friday, because they they do the subbing, I believe, on Friday or later on in the night of Thursday. I'm not sure, but I'll see you guys next week, the next Friday. Thank you for watching this review. Please comment your thoughts on Rex AO, your first impressions, what you liked about it, disliked about it. Also, by the way, the ending I actually like. The ending is a cool ending to it. The song is good. I believe next week we're going to see the opening, but the ending is pretty solid. I like it. So thank you for watching this review. Please comment below your thoughts, and please give this a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.